wanted to follow up with you. Unfortunately, I don't have any updates for you, but I just wanted to see how else I could support.
Yeah, so I want to give you an important update
Sure.
about this situation. I'm
Okay.
requesting recordings of phone calls from this Sedgwick contractor because I'm worried that I recall there might be impropriety directed towards me on those calls. And so
And what,
I want to review the calls on an emergency basis. Uh,
what do you mean by that exactly? Like, what is the exact concern?
well, it's complex because this phone call related to medical data. So I actually don't want to discuss the impropriety. I just want to
Okay.
review the calls because, I mean, can you understand my concern where I can't perfectly remember the phone call and I have a recollection of impropriety? And so I want to have a concrete record so that I know exactly what happened. Do you understand that concern?
Sure, I
Okay.
certainly do. Unfortunately, people support doesn't have access to those phone calls, so that's what I'm doing right now is trying to figure out, how that request would go through and how we could get you a copy of that. I know
Okay.
that you're working with Sedgwick on that as well.
Uh-huh.
So I have sent a request to our program partners, but I don't have an update yet, and
Okay.
so I can certainly follow up. I
So
just don't have access to
uh,
those phone calls
I
either,
understand.
and that's to protect your data.
No,
We don't want to have your private health information either on people support. So,
well,
um,
it hasn't protected my data in this case. These people are massively irresponsible, and I'm worried that the obstructionism I've observed is because they're trying to delete this data, which is why I have an emergency request out. So I'd also like for you to contact information security because this data access, relates to information security. I've reviewed the Apple employee rights, and they say that all contractors who work with Apple employee private data need to be reviewed by information security, and that part of that review needs to involve the process by which an employee can access their personal information. So I'd like for you to also contact the Information Security Office and ask them about the process by which they have arranged for employees to access this data. Because it's not just Sedgwick that has control of this process. Also, Apple has audited this process, and we have internal offices who have investigated this process. And that office is called the Office of Information Security. So I would
yes,
like
I'm
for you to,
familiar with
okay,
InfoSec.
so I'd like for you
Yes,
to reach out to them because they should already know the process. They should have had
sure.
reviewed it.
I,
And
I just
so,
need to go through the proper channels for that, Brian, and
mhm.
it's not just as easy as me reaching out to InfoSec to figure that out. I have to go through our program partners who I've already outreached to and provided your concerns. I don't think anyone is trying to obstruct your, access to that information.
Well, let me tell you why I think it is. It's because all Apple contractors are required to have an established process for this. I put in a request 1 week ago. I have been passed between three people. None of them have given me an explicit explanation of the process by which I access this call. Now, I have reviewed the requirements for Apple contractors, and it is required that everyone who has access to my data be informed that there is the requirement for me to be able to access it. So I've now spoken to three Sedgwick contractors who have demonstrated a lack of compliance for the contractual obligations of Apple contractors. Every one of those people should have known exactly how to give me access to my phone call because that's a requirement for Apple contractors. I've reviewed the information security policies that require it. So if you could somehow get in touch with information security and let them know that I think this subcontractor is not in compliance, because everyone I spoke to about my data should have had personal knowledge about the process. I've spoken to three people at Sedgwick. None of them had personal knowledge about the process. And now you're telling me that, I don't know. So can you understand why I'm disappointed in the data management compliance of this subcontractor? Where I read my
Sure,
rights? Okay, because
I can
I've
certainly
read the
understand that.
rights. Uh-huh.
I just want to let you know I'm doing everything that people support can in order to get you access to that. But again, we don't have, I don't have the ability to contact Sedgwick and say, please provide this employee with their phone calls.
You,
I
you,
have to go through certain channels to get
really?
you, through that request. Yes, we do not have a direct relationship with Sedgwick to be able to request that.
I'm actually not, so I'm not saying that out of criticism. I'm just surprised. I know that you wouldn't like personally arrange the dynamics there. So you don't, for example, have a personal phone call?
I can work with our program partners at Apple who do have the ability to do that. But me on people support and the specialists you're speaking with at people support, we don't have access to be able to request that directly.
I see. So there, for example, is there a Sedgwick specific program partner?
There are program partners who do manage those relationships, and I've put out a request to see who can help support me on this. I have not received a response yet. So I am working on that. That's when I followed up with you via email yesterday, is I had submitted a request to see who can help me with that. But again, I just don't have an update yet. So I don't have any additional information to give you. I understand your sense of urgency on this, and I will relay that back to see, who might be able to help support, get this expedited for you.
Okay, and can you, in your documentation, record that I have a concern about obstruction to a data records request from Sedgwick? I would like for that to be documented. Thank you.
You said you have a concern. Can you repeat it one more time just so I can make sure I get your wording?
A concern about obstruction to a data records request. And then also a concern that the representatives I spoke to were not appropriately trained to handle Apple employee private data.
Sorry, I'm just taking notes here so I can add it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yep, I got that down here, Brian. So again, I will reach out again and express a sense of urgency here and see what else I can do for you. I guarantee you still have your case open. It's with me directly. So as soon as I have an update, I will make sure to reach out to you to let you know what information has been given to me, okay?
Hey, thank you. So yeah, I guess the most urgent thing is understanding the process by which I'll get those calls and then moving through that process. And I thank you so much for that help.
Yes, no problem. Sorry, I'm just making sure I capture everything here for you. But yeah, no problem at all. I will make sure to provide you with an update as soon as I have one.
Awesome. I think it's so nice that you would pay attention or personal attention to this case. Thank you for your help.
Sure, of course. No problem at all. Have a good rest of your day.
You too. Goodbye.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Thank you for calling People Support. This is Robin. How may I help you?
Hi, this is Brian. I'm an Apple employee. My badge number is 6.
Hi, Brian. I spoke with you the other day.
Oh, hey, thank you very much for checking in with me. Things have gotten a lot more intense. So there's...
Yeah, I saw that. Let me see. Hold on just a second. Give me 1 second. Roxy has asked that I let you know that she is still reviewing right now and taking the appropriate, she's working with the appropriate partners needed.
How did she let you know that?
Through our case notes.
What was that?
Through our notes.
Oh, okay.
Our case notes.
So she made a note. Did she see my concerns about her not having appropriate training to respond to a private information data request?
She
didn't say anything about that specifically, but I will let her know that you have commented about that.
Okay.
And
so,
have her address that as well.
Yeah. So, how to put it? I'm eager to talk to someone who understands my data privacy rights, because I'm concerned that I've documented a data privacy rights violation. Can you help me talk with someone who has an understanding of my data privacy rights as an Apple employee?
That really, I mean, that's what I'm assuming that's part of what Roxy could be working on as well. And when she says that she's partnering with the appropriate people, right now, I mean, the case is with her, really, and she's taking the appropriate action needed for it. But I will let her know.
She can, by definition, she cannot be taking the appropriate action because I have a message from her where she exhibits a lack of legally required knowledge. So I have a message from her in my chat where she demonstrates a lack of legally required knowledge pertaining to this issue. So by definition, she is not trained to handle this issue, and that is documented. So she cannot be the point of contact for this issue. You must contact someone who is responsible and put me in touch with them.
Okay. Brian, I'm going to have to figure out who else that would be then.
Can you put me in touch with your manager? Is your manager available?
Unfortunately, they're not. They're not on phones.
Well, what is there any option for like emergency escalation?
Brian, this is the system that we work through. I can communicate with them. This is the proper channels that we need to go through, and I can let them know your concerns.
Oh, when you say the proper channel, what is that proper channel?
My proper channel will be talking to my manager and letting them know your concern and partnering with whoever else that we need to bring in to contact you.
Is your manager someone other than Roxanne?
Yes.
Okay, so your manager is not Roxanne. So someone other than Roxanne will be informed of this issue today.
Yes.
Okay, and so I want it to be commented that I have observed that Roxanne does not have appropriate training to address a data request relating to Apple employee private data.
Okay.
Have you made that note?
I'm typing it as we speak.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, and then
is there anything else you'd like for me to share?
Yes, please. I would like for compliance of the privacy policy relating to my personal data to be addressed as an emergency relating to employee private data.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. I would also like a legally informed person to call me to advise me to my privacy rights. I have a documented concern about an Apple representative lacking adequate training, and that is an issue that has directly affected me. And I want someone with an understanding of that issue to counsel me about my data privacy rights.
Okay.
Hey, thank you very much.
I will include that as well.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your help.
All right. Have a good afternoon.
You too.
Bye-bye. Perfect. How can I help you today, Brian?
I have a complex issue I need to report. I've discovered that an HR representative is not in compliance with Apple policy, and the non-compliance has resulted in a data privacy rights violation for me. And so I need to report that policy violation as well as the related data privacy rights violation.
Okay, have you sent us any emails regarding this?
Yes, I've made a support ticket. I've made a ticket to information security. I have called once today earlier and wasn't able to get an update.
Okay. Was it about...
Hmm?
Okay, hold on with me. Give me 1 second. So, did you... Because I see so many tickets for you, so I just want to make sure that I'm on the right
The most
track.
important ticket ends in 65169. That's where I discussed the lack of required training by the Apple representative.
Okay. Yes, I see, and I see that they're working on your request.
Can you give me the latest update you see in your chat log? Can you tell me about the updates you see?
Yes, of course. I see that this, you talked with Robinson today.
Yeah.
Okay. And she has transferred your case to the senior specialist.
Oh, great.
Okay.
What's the usual
The
time
global
frame?
senior specialist, and
Okay.
she's working on your case.
Do you know if they're working actively or they'll start up tomorrow?
They start up tomorrow.
Okay. Well, interesting. Okay, so if business is closing up, I guess I'll not be able to get another message. I'm curious, do you have a different manager from Robin?
What do you mean?
Well, so
My
Robin's...
manager is different than Robin?
Yeah. So Robin sent a message to her manager, and I was wondering, I mean, if you could also send a message to your manager.
I'm going to like write my notes on this case that you called today to follow up on your request. Is there anything else you want me to add other than your phone number? Because that's what I see Robin has added.
That's okay. I mean, just that I'd like to be contacted as soon as possible to discuss the issue freely.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your help.
I'm so sorry for this inconvenience.
No, that's okay. I there's lots of great teammates in the people department. I really appreciate you.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Hey, no, that's no problem. I hope you have a nice day. Sorry for keeping you late.
Thank you so much.
See you later.
Problem. Thank you so much. All right. Have a great night.
You too.